Undead Unluck. This is Undead Unluck, Chapter 85, Round 1. Last we left off in Undead Unluck, Fuko has chosen an object to play a game with Spring, betting the lives of all of the Union members in this battle to get to love Spring and be able to use their Unluck against him. So she picks out this top. And basically, round 1, the first of 3 games that they're going to play is negate tops. The rules are simple. They're going to let it rip. Beyblade let it rip.
Oh, yeah. The puns are coming, guys.
They're going to Beyblade let it rip here. But the big caveat is that they'll be summoning vessels to turn into tops and clash until one of these people dies. So, yeah. He basically...
Pretty fucking intense.
Yeah. So, the person's life shall also shatter, killing them if their top loses. And he goes, first or second choice, you may decide the order in which we shall choose. And Fuko says second. And he's like, very poor choice.
Very poor choice. See, someone makes a point where they say, that's smart to pick second so you can see who you're matching up against. But then the nigga violates is like, I'm going to choose your man. How about that?
You like that? I choose Undead, so this prevents you from ever touching Undead to unload him with Unluck. Good shit. Good shit. And Fuko's like, I say thanks for picking Andy, that is. And he's like, a firm bluff. I love Spring.
I think it's legit because if he does get killed, then it's okay because he won't get killed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I guess. Fuko chooses for her side, of course, Unbreakable. The reasons being is that Unbreakable and versus Undead, neither of them will really die in this because one can't and one is just very strong and durable, I suppose. On top of that, Ishin, the Unbreakable negator, it was in the memories of the top. So, Fuko's like, maybe you could help. What do you know about Spring? And Ishin reveals that not only does he not know him, his face is terror embodied. And I'm like, sheesh. We get a little bit of context from Billy as to the reason why Unbreakable hasn't even really been a factor in the story overall. Apparently, Ishin is known as the biggest coward in Union. One that uses the excuse that their ability is too valuable to endanger to rarely take part in quests and remain a shut-in. Unbreakable can only make things like weapons and simple cages, but never armor. But they can only make their own armor. So as Billy is like, pick someone else, they're simply... And Fuko interrupts him and says, please, Mr. Ishin, lend me your help. And she basically gets down on her knees and begs Ishin to help out. Ishin lowers their mask, and it turns out Ishin's a woman. Wow.
It looked like the author for a second.
Yeah, it looked like a no. Like, from what we can see.
I know one.
I know one.
That was a good one.
Yeah. So Ishin basically explains that up till now, she thought that Chikara and Fuko were like her, but they've proved her wrong by getting stronger and showing how useful they can be. But, she's been just so afraid of not being able to make things right that she still hasn't been able to make armor for everyone. And I forgot this moment, but apparently Unbreakable has saved them so many times in the past. And Ishin's like, that alone isn't good enough. The first Ishin in the Edo period made armor for everyone. And apparently that was the reason that this big battle in 1868 went really well, is because the Unbreakable Negator created unbreakable armor for pretty much anybody, everybody in his army. The truth was altered by the organization, but the Tonka poem scribed at the time has been passed down for generations. She's like, Tonka? And we get this poem, my Unbreakable shall prove through the course of this battle that I wage the blossoms, omens of good, the warmth that spring holds within. So,
yeah. Seems like a job for Unbreakable.
Yeah, and it turns out the Ishin that was in the memories of the top was this first Ishin who seemed to know spring, seeing as how he made a whole poem about spring, essentially. So, they make each other into spring is like unluck and unbreakable, 'tis now or never, and Fuko basically is like, Mr. Shin, the reason I'm able to fight is because I have to protect. I want to protect everyone I hold dear. Friendship. She's like, you could be just like the first after working so hard. After all, you've been working so hard in this organization to this very day. And Ishin gets inspired, and she's like, I want to be like that. Not just someone who can make weapons, but people who can protect others. And she turns into a top, and Fuko and oh my god, it even goes Beyblade style with the shoo.
I mean, it even makes the arena inside, like the stadium. This shit is lit.
Yeah, and the Undead and let it rip. I wish I had the foresight to get the fucking sound drop for it. And they let it rip. Ishin's little top has a little sign that says, on second thought, I cannot do this, as she clashes with Andy. And that's where the chapter ends, a big old 2-page spread of the weird Beyblade battle that this just turned into. This was a really cool chapter to get like a little backstory into Unbreakable. I think one of the few...
Yeah, it was cool. It was a clean chapter.
Yeah.
All around.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
No, yeah, as far as like... I think there's only one negator that we don't really even know about, and it's the other guy, the bald dude who has the spheres that he rides and stuff.
Right. And I think Billy's wasn't confirmed yet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's true. But
we basically know everything but its name.
Basically. But yeah, this is very cool. I never expected this to be literally like just a top battle, but I'm here for it. And this is only the first of a few games. So Fuko.
Yeah, it's very uncanny.
Yeah.
Ooh, use that right? You used it earlier. That was smooth. I wanted to use it. Yeah, and that's why I enjoy covering the series in the first place. It's never really mundane.
Yeah, it's always a fun read.
It has its tropes still, but it's fun. It's a fun read every week.
Yeah.
I don't have much more, really, I guess, like, analytical thoughts to it. I'm ready to see what happens next, though.
Yeah, me too. It was just like, I feel, just a starter to this.
The YouTube commenter called it, yo.
Yeah.
That was probably a negator from before. Again, I don't have the name on deck. I don't know if anybody could go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Deck, but
I actually can. I have it on my phone.
We will shout you out real quick, buddy.
Ooh, you deserve a shout out. One of our best listeners.
Bro, this dude just really reminds me of Hariyama, like the Pokemon. I know I said that before, but like the way he's dancing around and like with his arms. I'm digging it, man. Spring is dope.
Yeah.
He's real aggressive now and upset, but
yeah. Shouts out to Ginga. That's the name of the commenter that called it. So good for you, bud. You get one of these. But yeah, I mean, this was a great chapter. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed reading it. Undead Unluck has not been any type of underwhelming, and it's really only gotten better as time went on. So I'm excited to see what